Hello, world. I'm Doug Johnson. This is White Trash Talking. So I've been gone for about 6 weeks, and I was laid up for a little while. I had a major infection in my left eye. You can still see it's a little bit red. It took over my whole face. I got concerned. I spent a couple of days in the hospital. Not that it was life-threatening or anything, but it's just the way things are done here in Indonesia. And so that was about 6 weeks ago, and then that laid me up for about 3 weeks, and then I've been getting kind of caught up and been reorganizing and rethinking things. And, I'm trying to figure out really my target audience and my voice, like where I really resonate, where people will want to listen and tune in and get something of value from this channel. And, I've been happy with the work that I've done. I'm not reaching a lot of people, and I'm just thinking, maybe that's not exactly where I need to be focusing my attention, or not in that way exactly. And I'm new at this, so I'm still trying to figure this out and grow my base, which is very, very small at this point. So I'm just kind of touch and go. I'm just feeling it out. I have no plans on quitting, so I'm going to keep plugging along. And today I have a shorter format and a little bit lighter theme, partly because this is the first episode coming back, and I'm just trying to experiment a little bit. And then this is all pretty much non-scripted. So what I want to talk about today is my experience here in Jakarta, Indonesia. So one thing that I'm dealing with here in Indonesia is the lack of common space. And that I'm thinking of parks, for sure, even sidewalks where people can walk, can greet each other and get around. And it's very, very unfriendly to pedestrians and for people that want to enjoy nature. They're destroying all of the nature in Indonesia and making it almost inhospitable. It's a real problem, and the Indonesians don't see it, they don't understand it, they don't appreciate what they have. And so I want to look at that a little bit today. And anything I touch on here is I think it's relevant on a global scale. And everyone knows that I'm not afraid to criticize the U.S., and I'm not afraid to criticize anything in the world that I think needs improvement. So I'm not really judging Indonesia as inferior or anything like that. That's not where I'm coming from. So one of the problems here is a lack of city planning. I would say almost an absence of it. And you can see that in the neighborhoods, and I'm going to show a short clip of my immediate neighborhood and what that means and how it affects me. And then I'm going to take you in on a drive to Jakarta, because I'm on the outskirts of Jakarta, and we'll go into southern Jakarta and to a mall, and you're going to see more upscale living. So they have everything here, from the slums to high-class malls. So this is the street right by my house. This is where I have to walk on at least a weekly basis. And you see I'm walking down the road, and the cars are just a matter of sometimes inches from my body, and they don't slow down. And it's very uncomfortable, it's very dangerous, it's very noisy, polluted, and so on. And this is very typical infrastructure, complete lack of planning, no sidewalks, no regard for pedestrians or anybody that needs to walk on the street. And I'm walking further down here, and here's the opening to a mosque, which is also very loud. Someday I'll talk about that. Okay, and that goes on down the street, no sidewalks anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to turn around here. Okay, so that's the street that I live on. I'm going to show you walking the other way in just a second. But it's, we take this for granted, I think, in the West. When you don't have the space to walk, any communal space, there's no parks in the area, no place to go and sit under a tree or anything like that. I have trees in my yard, but I'm talking about to get with people in the society. There's just none of that. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to turn this around. And you see the storefronts here. These are all illegal. There's no permits for these structures. People just came in, set up a shack, started selling whatever, food, or you're going to see, as we go further, a clothing store. And the products are fine. The food is good. It's very cheap because there's no overhead. But it's very congested, overcrowded, ugly, and it's illegal, and there's no enforcement of the law. And here's a fruit stand where not a fruit, vegetable stand, where we do get our vegetables quite often. But it's crowded, it's dirty, and you see they're unloading the truck here, and then you have to walk around that. It's very dangerous. There's cars coming both ways, and there's a little road. I wanted to show you because they leave waste material, rotten vegetables there. Rats come. There are rats on this road. It's really disgusting. So now, heading back. So yeah, here's the clothing store. Okay, so that's my street. That's where I live. And this is everywhere. Every street in this neighborhood. Again, this is on the outskirts of Jakarta. And I understand that when cities grow, then it bumps up against the outlying neighborhoods that are not ready to take in this kind of traffic. But then there needs to be a procedure for annexing and widening the roads and so on. But they have no planning here. And these illegal structures on the side of the road make it much more difficult because you have to then, you're displacing very, very poor people who had nothing else to do, or they have nothing else. Okay, so now I want to show you a drive into Jakarta. And here I am on the road. Turn down the volume a little bit. So again, there's no city planning. This is all hodgepodge, building up. You see there's no sidewalk here. There's no place to really walk. And there's a mixture of houses and businesses and garbage, and here's the sidewalk, but it's random. Okay, so I'm going to jump ahead. Here's a mall, opening of a mall. Sometimes we shop here. You can see a KFC there. Motorcycles, tons and tons of motorcycles. So we're heading towards Jakarta now. Okay, and you see it's just a hodgepodge. There's parking mixed in with houses and so on. And this poor driver makes almost nothing per day. To take us to Jakarta, he gets maybe $1, barely enough to pay for his fuel. So I'm going to skip ahead here. So now I've arrived at the mall, and this is the Pondok Indah Mall, very, very modern. It has 3 malls actually connected together, 1, 2, and 3. Pondok Indah 1, 2, and 3. And it has everything, and it's ultra modern, ultra clean. You have, of course, the environment. The temperature is controlled, which is really nice. This is a tropical area. It's nice to go there and just get out of the heat and the congestion. And it has everything here. But it's really for middle class. And I'll just let this run. See modern conveyors and things you find in the U.S. for sure, but this is actually better than what you find in Louisville, Kentucky. The last time I was there, I didn't find any mall comparable to this one. This happens to be a quiet day in the mall. Usually, especially in the weekend, it's much busier. But it's really an excellent mall. I'm not a mall person. I don't even like being in malls. But if you're into this kind of thing, this is a good one. And I'm with my wife. She's walking near me. And we're heading to, she's got to do some shopping, and then we're heading to a coffee shop. And you'll see that in just a second. It's coming up. Now we're heading down to the coffee shop now. Oh, here's a bookstore. I forgot about this. Book lovers, believe it or not, they have so many titles here in English, bestsellers, classics, and it's one of the few remaining bookstores in existence in the region. Okay, so this is Jayco. It's a coffee shop, and it's probably the best coffee shop I've ever been in my life. The coffee is grown in Indonesia. It's fresh. It's really good. I drink espresso. They make excellent espresso. And so let's take a look. My wife and I like to come here. This is Mita in front of me, my wife. And you see these donuts. You get a free donut with your coffee. I mean, it's really extraordinary. It's a great coffee shop. Okay. All right, so that's a little bit of Jakarta, my world. It seems like, you know, that it has everything, but there is a lack of common areas, and I'm not a mall person, so if I go to the mall and need a product, or I'm really just trying to escape the nastiness of my neighborhood. All right, so look, I'm looking for topics that are of interest to people. If you want to know something about Indonesia, you want me to cover it, send me a message. I'll consider it. I have ideas. There's street people, beggars on the street that I want to cover because their stories are interesting. I've already covered the garbage issue pretty extensively. And there's more about the infrastructure problem and the lack of planning that I'd like to cover. But that's all for now. Again, I'm White Trash Talking. Please like and subscribe if you liked it. And I'm going back to posting once a week, so I hope that you get back in the groove of watching and that I see you soon. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.